And we are live with another episode of Let's Talk Broncos with your host, Kurt Valenti. Good evening, Kurt. How are you doing?
Well, here we go already with the other team, with the Knicks. But no, it was a great game. Very excited about NBA starting. But this ain't about NBA tonight, Jen. It's about the Broncos. Second win last week, 19-17 over Green Bay. So, yeah, in a better mood this week.
Well, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. We're going to get into obviously a whole Broncos agenda this evening. But before we get started, let's give a little quick rundown of some of the things we have happening on the network. We actually had a busy Wednesday night this evening. We started at 7 o'clock with a new installment. We have Sandy Seegers from SoarNewJersey.com. She highlights female sports in the Morris County, Sussex County area. She had on the Chatham field hockey team and the Whippany Park tennis singles champion. So we had that going, and followed up by your normal K&K show, followed up by an All In on St. Mary's Sports. And here we are rounding out the evening with a Let's Talk Broncos. While you're continuing to tag, we got a few comments already coming in. Albert Knoppers is saying, howdy, Kurt. Jody Moncrief saying, Porzingis flops. And Kenny saying, Jen, you are a very busy person. Yep, we're 4 in a row here tonight, Kenny. So I was only involved in 3 out of the 4, but we're getting a lot of sports coverage, hopefully hitting a lot of interest of a lot of different people. So let's hit it right on this agenda. Kurt, you ready to go?
Yep, I'm ready. We're good. No pictures today, right? You know what, Jen? Answer that question from Albert about what we're going to have in the future.
Okay. Oh, interesting. Now, does he know something?
No.
Interesting. All right. So nice little segue. He's asking, do you know anything about international soccer teams? And though that is actually one sport we have not really delved into much on any of our platforms, we will be hosting a special guest. And Kurt, I'm gonna let you elaborate on that a little bit. Somebody involved with Nike Soccer.
Yeah, he is a director of, I want to get his correct title. He is the, I don't want to mess up the title. Anyway, I want to say he's the director of, the soccer department with Nike, and he is going to join us. So Albert, we will be able to talk soccer. I'm going to be honest, I'm not a big soccer guy, so I don't know much. But Kenny and I, Carson, see how many couple people want to join in on this. But we will. We're gonna have. He works a lot with the USA soccer. Obviously, he's a big soccer guy growing up, so he does know international soccer. So yeah, we are working with him. He's actually director of sports marketing at Nike in the soccer division. So we are going to be doing an interview with him.
So my follow-up question for Albert, if he wants to drop it in the comments, is he a huge international soccer fan? He's saying, if I didn't have to fulfill my duty with the Dutch military, I would have been playing. Oh, for one of the top 5 teams in Holland. Wow, Albert, that's congratulations on well, thank you for your service to your country. And, also that's a great feat to have been able to play at such a high level of soccer. We're learning new things about some of our, and Kurt, you know what? While we're talking about awesome. Albert, let's give a shout out to Albert and Jody and Keith. And you want to mention their show real
Trevor.
quick?
Yeah. Denver Bronco Roundup. Again, just an awesome Denver Bronco show Tuesday nights. I jump on as soon as we get off All In on High School Sports, Jen. This place, these guys just do an unbelievable job. It's a lot calmer than I am. I could tell you that, Jen. It's a lot calmer.
You know what? I feel like you had on Albert and Trevor and Jody last week as guests, and I feel like they had a little bit of a calming effect on you.
Yeah, that's not going to help tonight, but yeah, they did. They actually absolutely did. So
maybe they need to move into our house.
yeah. Oh God. There's kind of a funny thing about a funny thing though. Even though I played soccer, I could not watch it on TV. Wow,
that is funny.
Yeah, Jen. So again, I want to thank the guys, Carson, Paul, Ryan, and of course, Mr. Kirkpatrick. They did a great show tonight on the K&K Sports Show. And well, let's talk some Broncos, Jen.
Sure. Why don't we get into a breakdown of the win over Green Bay this past weekend?
You know, listen, a win is a win in the NFL, right? You listen to anybody that talks player, coach, and they'll tell you it's very hard to win in the NFL. The differential of teams is, when you look at spreads in football, right? It's 3 points, 4 points, and those are usually what a lot of those games come down to. You take away that Miami game that we lost, right? The 70-20 game, but all those other games, whether you're winning or the games we won or lost, that last, you're on the last drive is you either win it or you lose it. So, you're in every game. That's how the NFL is. So it's not like, oh, you just beat the Packers. Now, are the Packers a good team? No. The Packers, Jordan Love is not a good quarterback. But hey, a win is a win. If you start looking at other teams, you go and you say, okay, this team is 4-2 or 5-2. Are you going to nitpick and say, well, this team was no good? That you are, like Parcells said, you are what your record is. We're a 2-5 team, but hey, 2-5 with a big one coming up this week. And listen, I'm going to take it. So I will definitely take it. I'll say this though, Jen, that game, you saw a little bit of what we've seen all year from Denver, right? Spurts, the running game, phenomenal with the running game. I'll get you stats here in a second. Sorry, Jen, just give me 1 second. 25 carries, 145 yards. It's almost 6 yards a carry, right? That's what we should be doing, should have been doing from day one. It's being a physical run game. It's what we told we were going to be. It's what we did in free agency this year and building the offensive line, getting ourselves another running back in Pirine. And we've had spurts where we've looked like one of the best running teams in football. The problem is we haven't committed to it. We committed a little more this week, 25 carries. It's a decent amount of running game. Russ, again, very, 20 for 29, 194, 1 touchdown, no picks, only sacked once. Again, winning football. It's what we want. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's a Hall of Fame player. Confidence in this quarterback. Made some big plays to Sutton throughout the game. Made some big plays. Hey, got another fourth quarter comeback, right? We were down, got us down there. We kicked, Lutz kicks the field goal. So he did his job. Again, happy with it. Defense did a pretty decent job. Again, Jordan Love is nothing to write home about. First half, sensational. Second half, though, they gave up 2 drives. They gave up 2 touchdowns. That's not good. It's not going to work this week against Kansas City. I can tell you that. But overall, held them to 17. So very happy with the win, Jen. And we'll
Well,
take
you nailed it. A win's a win. Next year when you look back at your record, you're not going to say, "Oh, but that was only a win over Green Bay." And you know what? It serves its purpose because another loss could have been devastating, and another win could be. And
right.
I'm going to throw up Albert's comment because he is kind of agreeing. This win might not mean much, but it could be a season changer and turning a losing team into a winning one. So
Of
it
course.
definitely could have just that effect.
We're going to get into this tank talk and all this craziness in a second, but Albert's 100% right. You have to learn to win, Jen. We did it as players, right? We did it from a junior level to a high school level. We did it as coaches. You just don't go snap your fingers and say, okay, we're going to be an 8-2 team. It doesn't work like that, especially when you take over a program, right, Jen? You said it. You took over a program that wasn't good before you, right? Am I
Mhm.
right or am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, had to do some rebuilding. Yes, yeah.
But
I actually took over 2 programs that were historically very strong, but had a little loss of momentum, and they needed someone to come in and rebuild. And I feel like that's kind of what I did.
Yeah,
Yes.
and when you say rebuild, I don't like using the word rebuild, but I'm going to say, those kids before you, like you said, with down seasons, they experienced a lot of losing. They didn't know
Mhm.
how to win.
Mhm.
The only way to gain that experience is to do it, is to come up with big plays. When you go and say, can somebody make a big play? yeah, you have to learn how to make a big play. Or if when they turn around, they say, well, this player's always making a big play. Yeah, because, they've always not done that all the time. They've learned how to do that. You learn as a defensive group. You learn as an offensive group. Hey, let's go. You learn as a quarterback, you know, hey, I'm down. I got to bring this team down. The whole unit's working like that. The offensive line is saying, listen, we got to get in gear now. We got to get in field goal range. It just doesn't snap your fingers and it doesn't happen. So just like Kenny's saying, a win is a win, and almost every team in the NFL, minus Panthers, maybe Cardinals, are out of playing for contention. It sounds great. He's right. We sat there and we talked with Sparky, right, Jen, when we went for lunch, and there are not a lot of good, we talk about the 49ers. I mean, did the 49ers show you how dominant they were on Monday night with Minnesota? They're missing Deebo Samuel. Come on. I don't. Deebo Samuel is not Randy Moss. Stop. Kansas City. Kansas City's not Kansas City. They're not. I mean, are they? Listen, they got a great quarterback. Are they a dominant team? No. I heard Deion Sanders talking the other day, and they were talking about the whole Steele signing and stuff like that. And he's rambling off saying, when I was with Dallas, we had Aikman, we had Irvin, we had Novacek, we had, Emmitt Smith. Like, that's a good team. That's a dominant team. The 49ers, Brock Purdy's not a great quarterback. He's in a great system. So, Kenny's absolutely right. There's a lot of teams here that, we're 2-5, but from where we are to a lot of these other teams, you're right there. I mean, be realistic. You're right there.
The Mark Calderio checking in and saying, congrats on your win on Sunday.
You too, Mr. Calderio, with your Giants, but not our Knicks tonight, Mark. But we'll get on that. We'll work on that. It's only game 1, 81 to go. But you know what, Jen? Listen, a win's a win. Let's get right to number 2. Let's just get right to number 2.
Well, our topic number 2 is tank talk. Let's talk tank.
It's honestly, it's the most asinine thing I think I've heard other Bronco fans say. And I mean this. You hear Bronco fans saying it, fans, and I'm a fan, right? I'm not an NFL player, so I'm considering myself a fan. But there's all these people, we got to tank. You listen to Rod Smith. You listen to Terrell Davis. You listen to Mark Schlereth. These are guys that been there and done it, okay? They've lived it. And they all flat out say, it's asinine. It doesn't work. It's never worked. Schlereth made the greatest point the other day. Name me one team in football history that tanked and won a Super Bowl. There is none. There's none. Who did it? Who tanked and won a Super Bowl? It's never been done. And then his second point, which was the best point he made, they say, all you got to do is tank and you get that franchise quarterback. Once you draft them, everything's good. Jen, you know what the number 1 pick in this year's draft was? Quarterback Bryce Young from Alabama.
Okay.
You know what team he's on? The Panthers. You know what the Panthers' record are? They have 6 games. What's their record?
I'm going to go 1-5.
No.
0-6.
0-6. Where is the savior? What has he done? They've been better off with Andy Dalton. Like, you're told when you get this high quarterback, he's changing it instantly. Where? They're 0-6. They're horrendous. They had to give up more. You talk about draft capital. They're going to be the worst team in the league this year. They don't have a pick. And you got better quarterbacks coming out this year than it was over him. So think about that. You wasted picks to draft him, and you're going to have better prospects this year.
Let's get a few tanking comments in here. Kenny saying tank for who? Caleb Williams, who can't beat a good defense. Drake May, who lost to Hoops' Virginia football team. It's a joke, he's saying. Jody Moncrief saying, ask the Nets how tanking turned out for them. Yeah. Kenny saying tank can sell. Good luck, Panthers.
But think about it. You have to learn to win. And then they're saying another asinine part is, okay, Jen, you're going to tank. We're going to just tank. You're going to play for the Broncos this year, right? So, Jen, you're going to play middle linebacker. I want you to tank So I don't want you to do good. You're going to have film you're not going to be on my team next year. And on film, you're going to look bad on purpose. Who's doing that? What player's going to do that? Just stop. Stop. And you know what? That's for losers. That's a loser franchise mentality. This isn't we're Super Bowl. We're 3-time Super Bowl franchise. We're the Denver Broncos. All right. We don't tank. We don't tank.
It's unfortunate. It's become such a like it's become something that people consider. Like it really has. It's
But
sad. I agree.
You
Yeah.
know what? It's the word like I don't even want to use like what's my word? Fugazi. Like, oh my God, we gotta get Drake May. Drake May, and you know, I watched because I had money on the game against the worst, no offense, Jen, the worst defense maybe in the country in Virginia, and he's all over the board. But he's gonna come in and play against, you know, the Raiders? Who's better, the Raiders or Virginia? Caleb Williams is a mess, absolute mess. You want that disaster on there? He couldn't be, again, against Utah. No, 2 teams he's played, 2 legit defenses. He's terrible. Bye-bye Heisman. Let him and the Fugazi coach go together. Let him go to Chicago. I want no part of him. Again, J.J. McCarthy, yes, winner. Pro system with a pro coach. But tank, you know, come on. Enough. We don't do that. Sean Payton is a Super Bowl winning coach. We don't tank here in Denver. And it doesn't work. If somebody could give me a team, and I tell you right now, if I hear somebody on Friday say, the Chargers. Well, the Chargers are what? 2-4? Justin Herbert? Where are they? They're a disaster. They're a dumpster fire. Come on, stop. We don't tank. You got to build from here. McLaughlin, Mims, Drew Sanders, Surtain. You win. You win in this league. We don't tank. Tank for who? Just stop it.
It's kind of interesting. You're talking about like how you need to have a winning mentality. And then this is like, this again, you're trying to develop winners. And if you have talk of tank, I mean, that's not good. The culture you want to develop.
Right. But okay, I tank. So next year, all of a sudden we win. How do you win? So this year, guys, no win. Come next September, we're going to win. Really? It doesn't work like that in the real world. It doesn't work like that. It's a losing franchise. And here's the next thing I'm going to get into, Jen. And this is with my buddies Staffiero and David Slade. Watch their show. I think Kenny's joining them on Friday. But last week, I'm driving down to go get a bagel, and I almost hit 4 cars. Not only he wants a tank to select the quarterback, then he wants to sit him for 2 years behind Jared Stidham. I couldn't control my car. No more of those guys quarterbacking this team. You got it? No more. No Bridgewaters, no Simeons, no Jared Stidhams. No. Those guys, backups, do not play starting quarterback. If our starter gets hurt, then they come in. But we don't have backups as our quarterbacks. It's embarrassing. It's a losing mentality, and you will never win like that. Never. So when I heard that, if you want a quarterback, he's playing day one. Day one. If not, don't draft him. If he's not ready, don't draft him. Give me somebody that's going to play. Give me Brock Bowers. Give me a defensive lineman. Give me another offensive lineman. Enough of this garbage. Seriously, it's asinine. I'm going to draft J.J. McCarthy and sit him behind Jared Stidham. Why? What's he learning behind Jared Stidham? Seriously, just don't even play the 2 years. No more. No more of those backups as quarterbacks. I don't know why those guys want backups as quarterbacks. Not me. I want a legit quarterback. You don't want Russ? You don't want Rodgers? You draft somebody, number 4, he's playing day one. No competition. He plays day one. The days of this garbage quarterback is done. Done. Now
All
I'm
right.
fired up.
Yeah, you definitely are. You definitely are.
It irrates me. It
Yes.
irrates me. What are you gonna gain? Jared Stidham as for what? He's a backup. Why would you have him as your starting quarterback? It's asinine.
Well, we got Matt Staffiero checking in. I mean, in Denver's case, you don't have to tank if you can't play a full game. 2 wins versus bad football teams doesn't change the trajectory of this team.
Again, listen, you know what? 2-5 could be 5-2. I just, again, in this league, this is a league where, okay, I got to worry about 15 years from now. You don't. If you do, you're doing it wrong. These go in 3 and 4 year windows. That's how it is. The Jets had their quarterback for the Jets took a quarterback for the next 15 years. You know what he's doing? He's playing now because they had to go get a 40-year-old quarterback because he stinks. That's what it is. Same thing with the 49ers. Their quarterback stinks. New England's quarterback stinks. All these young guys, you can't go, you got to do it in windows, in spurts. That's how it is. No, you're not going to get the Patriots for a 16 year. It's not going to happen anymore. That's, the same thing with the Spurs in the NBA. It's too much turnover. You're not going to have that. So get that out of your head. You're not getting of this guy for 18 years. It doesn't work like that.
We have Trevor checking in. He's saying trade down, take a quarterback in the back end of the first round and sit him behind Russ. Question he's asking.
Yes.
The Broncos need more draft capital. They only have 6 picks in 2024.
Absolutely. Right. Behind a legit quarterback. No more backups. No more of that garbage. It doesn't work. It never works. It never works. Give me Russ. Give me with J.J. McCarthy. That's what I want. And you know what? You play the Packer game. That's how you play the Packer game with Russ going forward. Hey, we drafted our guy. We drafted J.J. McCarthy, Russ. But you know what? You produce, we win, you stay, right? Just like they wanted to push Rodgers out. Which, listen, you think that's a dumb move? You think Green Bay would still rather have Aaron Rodgers than Jordan Love? But anyway, hey, what'd you do? You motivated them back-to-back MVP years. You stay. That's what I want. But Jared Stidham? Listen, Jared Stidham is on the wall here, Jen. He beat Auburn, Alabama, and Georgia. He should never take a meaningful snap as a Bronco quarterback. Never. He's a backup. No more backup quarterbacks. Again, we'll go through the line. Case Keenum, Drew Lock, Bridgewater, Trevor Siemian, Brandon. No. Garbage cans, garbage. No more. They're backups for a reason. Teddy Bridgewater is in Detroit making $6 million because he is a backup. Nobody wanted him, and he is a backup. He should never be a starter.
Let me get a couple of these comments in, and don't just let me read them, Kurt, rather than commenting on all the comments. All right, let me get them caught in here. Jody Moncrief saying we aren't losing because of Russ, and Matt Staffiero saying, well, we aren't winning because of him either. So that's actually a really good point for Matt Staffiero. Kenny saying, in all honesty, that Packers team people were expecting to be good with Jordan Love, just throwing his 2 cents, and he sat for multiple years. And Matt Staffiero saying it looks like the window for the Broncos has slammed shut before it was even open.
See, here's my point. And we always talk about plans, right? And I talk about Kenny about having a plan. And I'm going to go right off of Jody because I've been the biggest person for this. Are 2 things that we do not have on this roster. I'll say it again, middle linebackers. And you're going to see this Sunday because all you're going to see is 3rd and 6 to Kelsey. And there's Josie Jewell and Alex Singleton chasing them. We need a linebacker who could cover. And we need a tight end. Me, I want Brock Bowers in the first round or my first round.
I just threw up Jody's comment where I knew you were going.
and then you know what, Staffiero, here's where I'm with you. Okay. If you love JJ McCarthy, right? And I love JJ McCarthy, and it's going to be worth our quarterback in the future. You know what? 2025 picks, give it. Get back in that first round and go get J.J. McCarthy because now I got Russ a legitimate tight end, not blocking tight ends like we have. Those guys don't scare. Seriously, those guys wouldn't versus Bergen Catholic in high school. They're not going to scare them. Okay. They're blocking tight ends. They're not pass receiving. Get him a Brock Bowers. Okay. To complete this offense. And now we go back. We trade Trade future picks. If it's your quarterback, it doesn't matter, right? Just like somebody said about Kansas City the other day. They said if somebody offered Kansas City 10 picks, would they take them? You know what they said? No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't take 10 picks from Mahomes. It's not because who cares? Give the picks, go get your quarterback. Now he sits 2 years behind Russ, not a backup, Russ. And then when we're ready and if Russ doesn't win in the next year or two, then we slide JJ McCarthy in. That's the plan. That's the plan.
Question for you from Matt Staffiero. Kurt, if Russ is cut, do you take the full cap hit in 2024 and get a massive cap increase for 25, or split it 35 million and 50 million in 25?
Again, it's just, to me, it's just, I mean, I don't even know how to answer that because I'm the wrong guy to ask that question. It's just idiotic to cut him. Why would you cut him? Why would you cut? You're going to cut him for who? Are you cutting him for Aaron Rodgers? Then I'll cut him. I got to upgrade. I'm not downgrading. See, I am against these people who want to downgrade because I am not a believer now. And you just saw 7 years of that. 7. Case Keenum, Flacco, Bridgewater. They are backups. No backup should be a starting quarterback in the NFL. It's stupid to do it. So why do it? So I'm not cutting Russ. Absolutely, I'm not cutting Russ. It's asinine to do it. I'm not doing it.
Right, Matt Saffiaro also saying if Peyton has a quarterback he feels is a generational guy, his pick, take it and run with it. You have to love him though. And then smart choice, Jody is saying, is to keep Russ next year and get him to rework his deal in 25. And Matt Staffiaro saying, stop signing over the bridge veterans, LOL.
Right, over the bridge. No, see, stop signing over the bridge, but he wants to play a bridge quarterback. I'm not even joking around. And I love Dave and Matt. They want to play backup quarterbacks as your quarterback. Think about it. What we saw Teddy Bridgewater. Okay. Now just think about this. Teddy Bridgewater could have went anywhere in the NFL. Any team could have had him this year. He got signed right before training camp for $6 million as a backup. But those are guys they want as our starters. I mean, how embarrassing is that? That's embarrassing. You're never going to win like that. Jared Stidham, he's a good backup, but he's a backup. He should never take a meaningful snap for the Broncos unless Russell Wilson is hurt. End of story. End of story.
And Jody's saying Russ is not an over-the-bridge quarterback. Do you want to move into your next topic? So moving from tank talk to the trade deadline?
Well, again, just one more thing with this whole tank talk. And, again, I think people don't understand and they look and, no one has the answer of, well, look what Carolina did. Because just like Mark Schlereth said, everyone is telling you, once you get that quarterback in the first round, everything's going to come together. The Panthers are the worst team in basketball. They're 0-6. They have no talent around them now. No pick. They don't have a first round pick this year. Why didn't it work out for them? I don't want to hear 8 years down the road. We're told it happens like this. Where is it happening? It's not. It's not. It's fool's gold. It does not happen. It's, and getting back to these bridge things, Alex Smith, I was never an Alex Smith fan. Alex Smith's never going to win you a championship. But Alex Smith is still a starting quarterback in football. So when Kansas City did it, they still had a, Pro Bowl, winning quarterback as their quarterback. And then they rolled into Mahomes. Not, backups. So I don't want to hear, I'm going to play Jared Stidham. If you take a quarterback, that guy better be on the field next year. We got Kenny saying his question is, what are your expectations with the so-called backup quarterback? Because personally, he wants his team to do the very best it can until the end of the season. And he says that kind of sounds like tanking.
Trevor checking in saying, how much can we trust Sean Payton to put this roster together? Mike McGlinchey was a horrible signing. Will Lutz was Payton's best acquisition in the offseason. And Matt Staffiaro saying, you have to take your guy. I don't want the bridge. I want the guy. If you feel the guy is there, you take him. And Anthony Mataloni checking in saying, first game of the year, and I'm already mad at the Knicks. Can't win games if you
Yeah,
miss so many free throws.
again,
Looks like
embarrassing.
Denver is a mile high.
It's embarrassing that you can't hit free throws.
Yeah.
They should have won that game. But getting back to this, I agree with Stefano, your guy, but your guy doesn't have to be. See, here's the thing: your guy doesn't have to be in this draft, and that's where I argue with a lot of people. I hear a lot of people say, "Well, who do you want?" Like my guy is JJ McCarthy. That's my guy. But there's other people. Well, I want Caleb Williams, if not him, Drake May, if not him, McCarthy, if not him, Bo Nix, if not him. It doesn't work like that. They said it. They said it the other day I was listening to, and they said it always works out like that. One guy's going to be a stud. One guy's going to be an okay quarterback. The rest of the four guys are going to be absolute bust. That's how it always works. So your guy. So if your guy just say his guy is JJ McCarthy and he's off the board, punt it to the next draft. 2 years down the road, that's what you have to do. You can't just say, I want Baker. I want Josh Allen. I want Josh Rosen. I want Lamar Jackson. It doesn't work like that. People go, oh, you might have had Josh Allen. Yeah, but you might have had Josh Rosen. So you don't just take a quarterback to take a quarterback. That's stupid. Your guy, like Matt Stayan, absolutely. If it's your guy, you're hooked with that guy, from there on. Yeah, but if your guy, one guy, if he's gone and you can't get him, I go to next year, I take the best player. Instead of saying, I'm going to reach for this guy. Now I lost out on Marvin Harrison Jr. because I took this quarterback bust. In 2 years, we're back to it's like a 90% chance it's going to work out like that in a bad way. So your guy, yes, but he's gone. I go to another draft class.
We had Matt Staffiaro saying, if that's your guy, you take him. If JJ's your guy, you take him. If quarterback is there, then take him.
And the next thing, too, is I don't believe in the whole, and I know, Jen, you and I had this conversation of, well, it's too high to take somebody. I always tell this about Kenny and I'm not a Daniel Jones fan, but Gettleman, when he was the GM, he traded up. I think he traded up and he took Daniel Jones at number 5, right? But his mentality was, that's my guy. I wanted him. I'm not going to take the risk of somebody taking him at 8 or taking him at 10. There's no, does anybody go and say, oh my God, why did the Chiefs take Mahomes? I think he went 9 or 10. Why did they take him at 10? No, I don't believe that. I don't believe, you can't take this quarterback. I don't believe it. If you love JJ McCarthy, take him at 2. Why not? Take him at 2. Why do I have to take him at 8? Why does it matter? Why does that matter? It's so stupid. Why does that matter? If take him at 1. Take him at 1. If he's your guy and for the next 10 years, that's your Drew Brees, wouldn't you take him at 1? Right? Think about it, Jen, wouldn't you? If he's going to be Drew Brees for you, isn't Drew Brees worth the first round pick of the draft? I don't care where he's projected and who's projecting him. They're not coaches. They're not GMs. They're reporters. What the hell do they know? Seriously, take your guy.
It's always a gamble. Always a gamble.
We argue that all the time. Oh, I can't take a running back. Why can't you take a running back? Why can't you? Bijan Robinson isn't worth Atlanta's draft pick. Guy's a stud. Then you're like, oh, how do teams pass him? Just here, Jen, I'm going to get to basketball one time. This is why you hear it. The Knicks have the 7th pick. Oh, but you can't take Donovan Mitchell. You can't take Donovan. Nah, it's too early for Donovan Mitchell. Then when 7 and 8 teams pass him and he goes number 12, why did they pass on Donovan Mitchell? Like, come on. Stupid. If you want him, pick him. I don't care if you have the number 1 pick. If JJ McCarthy is number 1 on my board as quarterback and I want him, I'm taking him 1.
It's still a gamble.
Of course
if they did take Donovan Mitchell and he didn't work out, they would be saying, right. You can play devil's. You don't know that he's going to work out no matter where you take him.
If I'm taking JJ McCarthy at 1, 2, or 3, he's playing. He is playing. He's going to learn. Learn what? From who? If he's not ready, then don't take him.
He's in a pro offense with a pro head coach. He's playing in the Big Ten against legit defenses. If he's not ready, don't take him. But if you take him, he plays.
Let me get Trevor's comment in. The Broncos are not just a quarterback away. There are multiple holes on this roster. If Russ isn't the issue, then there's no need to move off of him right now. Drafting a quarterback high in the draft and releasing Russ does nothing to help fill the rest of the holes in the roster.
Of course. Listen, Trevor's 100% right. This team needs talent in certain positions, okay? You have a legit NFL Super Bowl champion as your quarterback, okay? There's no denying that. You could say you don't like him. The facts. He is going to be a Hall of Fame Super Bowl winning quarterback, which there's not many in this league, right? Think about it. How many of those are in the league? Stafford, Mahomes, Russ. Is that it that's in this league? Is that it? That might just be, oh my, that's insane. Only 3 guys were Super Bowl quarterbacks that won Super Bowls in this league. You know, you have that. We need talent. He's talking about tear what down? Tear what down? See, I read this today. Well, let's trade Javonte Williams to, I forgot what team it was, the Houston Texans for like a third. Why would I do that? I drafted him in the second. What backs is a back better than Javonte Williams? Why am I doing that? Let's trade Pat Surtain for 2 number 1 picks to the Buffalo Bills. So I take a corner next year at number 30. Well, that guy's not better than Pat Surtain. That's asinine. Yeah, but I get a second round pick, number 30. What am I going to get? A tackle who's not going to play for 4 years? Like, it's stupid. You don't win like that. We need talent. We need a middle linebacker. We need middle linebackers. We need a second corner. That's what we need. Okay? That's what we need. We need a tight end who could catch the ball, right? Russ always had great tight ends, receiving tight ends in Seattle. You look at Mahomes. Mahomes has Kelsey. That's why they're so good. His receivers aren't good. Let's be realistic. They're not good, Kansas City. Besides Tyreek Hill, they've never been good, right? Hartman, oh my God, we got what's the guy's name? Hartman. We just got him. He couldn't even play on the Jets. The Jets are looking for receivers. The Jets said, cut him. The Jets cut him. The Jets just cut him. How good is he? Come on. It's Kelsey. That's that special player. We need a tight end. We need a linebacker that can cover a tight end. And we need a defensive lineman. That's what we need. Not tearing it down and giving up Justin Simmons for a 4th round pick. It's just stupid. It's insane. Jerry Jeudy for a 6th round pick. Come on. So stop. You're not winning like that. You're never going to win like that. Never.
All right, what do you say we move on to our next topic? That was a lot of tank talk. Let's go into trade deadline.
Yeah, listen, again, I just talked about it. I'm not a believer in I was a Knicks fan and I'm mad that me and Kenny were talking about it Monday night. We gave up 2 picks. We traded for 2 second round picks for Obi Toppin. We lost that trade. You lost that trade, hands down. He's the more talented player. The only way we win that trade is we're not going to listen to me. You're not getting anybody in the second round. That's going to be, let's be realistic. We're not finding Jokic. It's if that's your theory is I'm going to find Jokic in the second round, you're smoking stuff. That's not happening. Okay. I mean, the only way we win that trade is we package those 2 picks along with other picks and we get an Embiid, we get a Donovan Mitchell. But, I don't know, those 2 picks going to be there, but otherwise we lost that trade. We lost value. We had a 1st round pick, a top 10 pick, and we got 2 second round picks for that.
I agree. I'm not about trading for picks. The only reason I do like is that what this front office and now I'm talking about the Knicks seem to do is stockpile them to make deals, but I am not a fan of trading for picks. It's just too much of a gamble unless they're going to use them to try to, package something to get a player, a proven player.
Exactly. And you know what? That's what you need in the NFL. Okay. You can't just go and say, I'm going to throw 4, at a dartboard and I'm going to find the middle linebacker. Go get me Devin White. Go get me Devin White. You want a couple number 3s for Devin White? Devin White starts in tomorrow. He's the best player on your defense besides Surtain. He's a leader, and Kelsey's not running rug shot through you the whole game. That's what I want. You need talent, right? You need talent. Not just, I'm going to draft and have 14 draft picks. 14 draft picks aren't making your team. They're not. They're not going to make your team. Anything besides 4, really, besides the 4th round, those guys very, very rarely make a team, So just, I'm not giving up talent, like Cortland Sutton for a 6th round pick. It's stupid. Just why would you do that? Why would you do that? Yeah, Jerry Jeudy for a 4th round draft pick. Guy's a 1st round. Now, I'm not going to say Jerry Jeudy's lived up to his 1st round billing, but he's better than a 4th round draft pick. He's going to be. There's nowhere near you're going to pick somebody in the 4th round that's anywhere near Jerry Jeudy. So why would you do it? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
Look at this stat from Jody Moncrief. 60% of our current draft class didn't dress on Sunday.
Exactly. Think about this now. Riley Moss, okay, a 3rd round. We moved up, I believe, to get him. A 3rd round pick out of Iowa. You hear me every week, Jen, say, we do not have a 2nd cornerback. Do I say that?
Mm-hmm.
That Mathis is not a starting cornerback,
Mm-hmm.
okay? He still can't get on the field? He's a 3rd round pick. What are we doing? Is he a bust already before he even dresses? I mean, he's dressed 1 game. What is going on? What? So wait, what he learned in Iowa, he's not NFL ready? What the hell are we drafting him for? If he's not ready, what, you have to teach him how to cover somebody? You don't teach him. But come on. What am I developing? Go cover the guy. He can't do it, obviously. He's not good enough. We wasted a pick. How is he not dressing? So he can't dress, but we're going to dress our 6th round pick from next year. He's going to play over our 3rd round pick. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. Go get me a veteran guy. Give me a veteran to play that 2nd corner. Put him with Surtain. You're going to be a better defense.
We had a little side conversation going between Matt and Jody, and Matt is saying you have to get money off the books. Peyton put this team in a difficult position. Jody saying to rework deals, and Matt saying why rework deals in a team that's not in a position to succeed.
But see, I don't believe that. I really don't. I don't believe that. How can he see? Here's the thing. If he's all in, no pun intended, Jen, to our show, but if he's all in with the Broncos with bad, then he's got to turn around on this show tonight and say, Chargers are a dumpster fire. They absolutely failed. Start trading off because they're in the same boat. They're in the same boat, and they had a high quarterback. They paid him $60 million a year. He just does not produce, and I like Herbert, but he does not produce. So Eckler gone, Keenan Allen gone. They should be trading off. They're not. Where are they going? They're a dumpster fire. Where are they going? So that team, they're not ready to succeed, right? Who else? The Titans, the Giants, the Vikings. So, I mean, there's 3 teams. We're going to get back to the 49ers, the Eagles, the Chiefs, and the Bills. Everybody else is, think about it, everybody else is, 1 or 2 guys away from competing with each other. Seriously, they are.
We got Trevor saying he sees 1 or 2 trades at the deadline. If I'm the Broncos, I add money on deals and get higher picks. Denver did that with the Randy Gregory trade. And then we have Eddie Murphy checking in saying, hello, Kurt. How's it going? Tough loss for our basketball teams. When do the Broncos look to trade Russ? And how many years are you giving Peyton?
But yeah, I want to get back to Matt about the Chargers. Just admit the fall, J.C. Jackson. Like, he should be screaming fire sale, let's go. Eckler gone, Keenan Allen gone, Bosa gone. They're not winning, gone. Contracts gone. Why is he not doing it? Think about it. They're a bigger disappointment than us. They haven't made the playoffs. Herbert's never made the postseason. Top 5 quarterback, top 6 quarterback. So break him up. But why isn't he screaming? Where he wants to break us up, but the Chargers, he's going to go. Chargers are the most disappointing team in football. Aren't they? What are they? 3-4, 2-5. I mean, they're pathetic. But see, like, we're going to break up, but they're going to keep their guys. we'll get rid of our good guys for your junk, but they'll keep their good guys and we'll give away our junk. It doesn't work like that.
Why don't you get to Eddie's question? He wants to know about looking to trade Russ and how many years you giving Peyton.
No, I'm not trading Russ. I'm keeping Russ. I'm building this team around Russ. I'm building around Russ until I find my future quarterback who's going to sit behind Russ. Again, JJ McCarthy is my guy. I'll say it again. He's my guy. And again, I want a pro-ready quarterback that's in a pro system that knows how to take, that doesn't read signs, right? I don't want this, Cartman plus Carvel plus that don't work in the NFL. Okay. I don't want that. So if that happens, if the guy can't take a snap under center, I'm not even going to interview him. He's out. So, we're not going to play gimmick offense like Caleb Williams. That stuff don't work in the NFL. He's out. Okay. Drake May. Okay. Pocket passer. But I watched him versus Virginia. That's not good against that paper thin defense. Not good. JJ McCarthy's my guy, but I'm building around Russ. Again, Mahomes, Stafford, and Russell Wilson. There's 3 guys in the NFL, Jen, that have won Super Bowls as quarterbacks. 3. And you want to get rid of him and play Jarrett Stidham? It's mind-boggling.
Jody Moncrief asking, why does Herbert get a pass with coaching, but Russ doesn't?
Again, of course.
And a good question from Trevor. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how much do you trust Sean Payton right now?
Well, I'm going to answer that in twofold. One, I'm going to look at what my options were. Not my options, what my reality was before him. Okay. I had Vance Joseph, Vic Fangio, and Nathaniel Hackett. Okay. What would you say your confidence level with those 3 were?
Wait, like when they were
head coaches?
I know, but I mean, like, it's hard when, at what point of the season? Because,
any, because I had
Vance
zero
Joseph
confidence.
Was always low. Vance Joseph was always low.
I had zero confidence in any of them. I mean, Vic Fangio wanted Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback and Pat Shurmur as his offensive coordinator. Mind-boggling. I mean, think about it. Bridgewater is a backup for $6 million and Pat Shurmur doesn't have a job. So, I mean, wouldn't you say that's on Vic Fangio? Like, wouldn't you say those are 2 horrific decisions that got him fired? So in that sense, I trust Sean Payton a lot more to hell than I do any of those 3 guys. But, I'm going to say, I would answer that beginning of the season. I would answer that as a 9 out of 10, but it's down a little because the offensive game plan with Russ, I am a firm believer, Jen, we talk about this on our high school show. A head coach has to do what their team does best. An offensive play caller or a head coach has to do like that fit for quarterback has to be like this. It has to. Like Lamar Jackson needs a quarterback and a head coach that's going to say, okay, run the Pee Wee high school offense. You can't tell Lamar Jackson, okay, you're going to throw it 50 times from the pocket. If you do that, it's bad because he can't do that. Sean Payton is not running what's best for Russell Wilson. It's just proven it's not. Now, can he change it? Yeah, I have the confidence that, I think, I'm going to be honest, I think Sean Payton kind of was like, I'm going to do what I want to do and all that. And you know what? Like, I think he heard got a lot of scrutiny, Jen, from the local media, from the national media, from fans that, you're here to coach this guy, this quarterback. So, I still have faith in him. He's a Super Bowl champion.
Let me get to Matt's comment because this is kind of interesting. He's saying Herbert, going back, because this kind of ties in with this. I mean, Herbert wasn't guided by an elite level coach like Russ was, right? Meaning, the name of the Seattle coach is escaping me right now, Kurt, the head coach in Seattle.
Pete Carroll?
Yes, yeah, right? So elite coach, right, that coached Russ. How many head coaches has Herbert had? Well, wouldn't you say Russ is being coached by an elite coach now?
Yeah.
With that argument, you'd think you'd want Russ to work with Peyton, so it's kind of Well, I'm just saying, and Matt, I'd like to see how he responds to this. I think that kind of goes against what he's been saying about getting rid of Russ. I feel like you did get the
Right.
coach quarterback combo in Russ and Peyton, and I think you're kind of nailing it there. And you had a viewer last week who commented a lot saying we have to give them time to gel.
Yeah.
And I think you're right, Kurt. Peyton is, he's an old school type of coach. He's coming in my way or the highway. But you know what? Like maybe he's going to change that mindset because it's not working. I think they have to learn what's going to work.
But here's the thing. See, here's the thing where what's I remember saying this to Kenny's going to laugh on the K&K. I said this to Scoops that you got lied to. This is where Matt Staffiero got lied to because you're told, why does it matter I could be the head coach of the Chargers. They told you, there's your franchise guy. You draft that quarterback high. It don't matter. Who cares? Who cares? He's Justin Herbert. He's the first round pick. It don't work like that. You got Bryce Young. It's going to turn around like this. 0-6. What? Justin Herbert. Your promise. That's what they're going to do. I mean, wait, the Chargers don't have talent? Keenan Allen? Austin Eckler? Mike Williams before he got hurt? Are you joking? It's probably one of the top 4 offensive talents around in football. And we're going to blame Brandon Staley? Listen, if anything, Brandon Staley is saying to you in games, listen, I don't trust my defense. Go ahead, Justin Herbert. You're supposed to be so good. When it's 4th and 2 on my own 20, get the friggin' first down. Get the first down. He don't do it, though. He doesn't do it. You guys were told, everybody was told, you pick that quarterback, it don't matter. They're just going to win. No. Generation, Trevor Lawrence, yeah. Andrew Luck, yeah. Peyton Manning, yeah. John Elway, yeah. Not that guy. Doesn't matter who the coach is. Doesn't matter. That's where you lied to. Just like, again, like Schlereth said, you draft that quarterback, everything's hitting the road tomorrow. Well, I want to see, have you guys had anybody watch Carolina this year?
We got Keith Brugman checking in. He's saying, I'm late, dang. So welcome, Keith. Good to have you. And we've got a couple of things here going back and forth with the comparison between Russ and Herbert right now. So Jody Moncrief saying that Russ was a Super Bowl winner at this point that Herbert is in his career. And that, and Eddie Murphy checking in saying that Russ also had the Legion of Boom and Beast mode. Kenny's a little concerned about your arm waving, Kurt. He's afraid you're going to hit some of the pictures on the wall.
Oh my God, I just lost my train of thought. I was just reading a comment, but Keith is right with this. Like, you don't just walk in and say, you look at last year and you could just watch, and it's where I argue with everybody. Kenny's texting me saying I'm fired up. You just don't. I don't believe in stats, Jen, because the eye test, right? We always talk about that. The eye test is the number one thing I always believe you should do. You just watched last year and you just knew Nathaniel Hackett is not it, right? Jen, you watched football. Would you say last year you watched a game and you're just like, this guy's not going to make it?
100%.
Okay. Same thing with Vance Joseph as a head coach,
100%.
right? It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Okay. We watched, as Knick fans, we watched Derek Fisher. It's not going to work. Jeff Hornacek, it's not going to work. You bring Tom Thibodeau in and you say, yep, I trust that guy. You have Sean Payton. I trust Sean Payton. It's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be, the offense isn't going to, I think people think the offense is going to look like, the Saints offense when they won the Super Bowl. It's not going to be like that. But has he fixed the offense? We were the worst offense in football last year, in probably the last 4 years. He fixed it. I'm not saying it's where it's a top 5-6 offense, but I mean, every game what game, again, now, I'm not going to say he's been the best play caller and changing philosophies. You get 7 yards against the Jets in the first half. You shouldn't be throwing it 30 times in the second half. That's on Sean Payton, right? But has he fixed it with scheme? Yeah. We're scoring. We're getting, might say, oh, we only scored 19 points. We scored over 19 last week. You have a first drive. We have a holding penalty. Now instead of kicking 4, so there's 23. You got to look at it like that. But confidence. Like I knew that guy wasn't it last year, and it had to change immediately. There's no give him a second year. No, with Peyton, yeah, he's been there, he's done it. That's why I trust him. So yeah, I do.
We got a couple of things. Keith Brugman along those lines there, Kurt, saying, how long do you give a new coach with new ownership and a quarterback only in his second year? Take a breath. It takes a while to change the culture. We got Trevor saying, I wouldn't let Sean Payton have a final say in personnel. He hasn't proven he can be trusted up to this point.
Who's saying that?
Trevor.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with him on that. I agree. I think that, people have to work together, right? Like, so if you're the GM, Jen, and I'm the head coach, and, whether you're saying it to me or I'm saying to you, Jen, okay, we're going to be a run heavy team, right? We're going to be a run heavy team. So I am going to want to run the ball. And my philosophy is going to run the ball and take shots down the field off play action. Okay. So then you need a speedster as a receiver, right? You're going to need, a great offensive line. Okay. And you're going to need physical backs with a change of pace back that's going to be a home run back. That's where it's got to work together. But it shouldn't be like me saying, I want, you better draft Javonte Williams. It doesn't work like that. Me and you have to work hand in hand. Like, that's my philosophy on how that's going to work. I don't believe that the GM should be saying to him, okay, your starting running back is going to be Javonte Williams. He's going to get 10 carries. I mean, I'm not getting into that garbage with, how these baseball teams do. So
Eddie Murphy has an interesting comment. If Russ is supposed to be elite, shouldn't he be calling his own game like A-Rod does, like Rodgers does? What's interesting about that comment to me, though, is that who is Rodgers' OC?
Hackett.
Right. Who, he likes Hackett. It's just becoming more and more clear, like, why he does like Hackett as his OC, because he gets to call his own plays. Right.
Listen, when
Rodgers is in a league of his own, but
when Rodgers is there, Jen, when Rodgers is there, he's going to be running out. Hackett's not going to be running out. Let's be realistic.
And Kenny's got a question. His first part is for Matt. If the Broncos win on Sunday, does he change his mind about tearing it down? And the other half for you is, Kurt, if you get blown out at home, do you trade away some players?
Again, like trading away some players, like you have to look at it as like, what does he want going forward? Right. Meaning, okay, if Jerry Jeudy is definitely not in my plans, right? If he's not in my plans, I'm going to go Mims and Sutton, or Mims and I'm going to draft the guy and he's not in my plans. Then yeah, just like the Bradley Chubb thing last year. But you can't be like, I'm going to trade him for whatever. Give me a 5th round pick and a 6th round pick. Like, it's stupid. We're lacking talent. We can't get rid of the talented guys we got. You can't do it. I'm going to say it 100 times. You need a second corner, you need a tight end, and you need 2 middle linebackers. All 4 of those positions, Jen, we're playing with backups. We just are. We're playing with backups. We have 2 backup inside linebackers, a backup corner, and backup tight ends as our starters. Those are the 4 positions that, and it shows. They have Travis Kelce and we have Adam Troutman. That's a mismatch. Teams have Devin Whites and, Parsons as their linebackers, and we have Josie Jewell and Alex Singleton. It's we have Mathis. Those 4 positions got to get fixed. So,
all right. Well, let's move into our last topic of the evening, which is a preview of the game against Kansas City this week.
Again, I'm not going to go and say biggest game in a while, but this is a big game for the Denver Broncos for a couple of things. And again, I said this to you after the second week of the season or after the Miami game. This isn't about, let's look at the playoffs. That doesn't even matter. Again, like, that stuff takes care of it. You win, that stuff takes care of it down the road. This is about now pride. All right. I think it's 15 or 16 losses in a row, Jen, to the Chiefs. Okay. Wow. They haven't beaten the Chiefs since the Super Bowl year, week 2. All right. Bradley Roby picked up a fumble. So that's 2015 is the last time you won the last time they won a Super Bowl is the last time they beat the Chiefs. That's the stuff that has to happen, and I'm going to say this, Jen, you're probably going to get mad because I know, you got to be just physical, beat this team up. If Mahomes is giving gyrations and Travis Kelce, you know what? I'm get 15-yard pound. I'm gonna knock your head off this week. That stuff is not happening on this field. Okay. And you know what? It's not dirty football. It's just a mentality. This guy needs to be shaken. When Tampa Bay beat this team in the Super Bowl, they physically beat them up and just like came at them and got in their face. And that's what you have to do to this team. And, they're going to go around and, okay, if Andy Reid starts trying, I'm going to run double reverse passes and all that kind of stuff. You better send a message to this team. And that message is when you have Mahomes and he's running, you know what? Put your shoulder in him. Do it legally, but put your shoulder in him. Drill him. Kelsey's dancing and pointing to stands when he's over there. Put a hit on him where he's going to say, Coach Reed, we're not doing that again today. That's what you have to do. That's the first thing, because they look at you as a joke. And the only way you don't do it by, I'm going to go score 60. You do it by physically beating that team up. And that's what we have to do. But this is a big game. All right. This is a big game. You're at home. You talk about, and again, not for players, but season changing momentum. Okay. You win you go to 2-5. You beat Kansas City. You beat that streak. You win at home. Now you have a bye. You're 3-5. Your whole season changes. Again, there's probably not 6 good teams in the NFL, like 6 really good teams. There's not. Everybody is so close. So you win that game, Jen, you bring everything back. Now that's over with Kansas City, and now you're really looking forward to, like, this is the team we thought we were. The crowd's going to be fired up at home late Sunday. Listen, and you know what? Vance Joseph, don't let Kelsey beat you. Again, I tip my hat. Rice is going to beat me. Tony's going to beat me. Pacheco, but I am not letting these 2 linebackers who are our backups. Okay. This is where you're going to get exposed. If Kelsey has 11 for 142 and just those 2 guys, just sit them and play new guys. But let's go. I can't understand why, are there people watching the show that want them to lose? I don't. I can tell you that. I'll have my jersey on, Jen. I'm ready to go. We don't tank here. That's for losing franchises.
And just so the audience knows, the only reason you will have a jersey on is because they won. Because if they lost last week, you weren't going to wear a jersey anymore. Matt Saffiero predicting a Kansas City win 24-13. I want to get Keith Brugman posed a question to you. It kind of got dropped down in the comments, so I want to get that on here before we go, because it's a good one. Kurt, you seem so in love with Russ. Give me 2 options you'd want as quarterback if Russ never became available to the Broncos.
Well, Jen, who was my number 1 option?
Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers was 1. It was Aaron Rodgers 1, Russell Wilson 2. Again, you go from garbage backups, Keith, to I want a star quarterback. I want a Hall of Fame. Like if I could go get those guys, again, I just can't turn around and say I want Patrick Mahomes. They're not going to trade. But with Rodgers and Russell Wilson, I'm doing that every day of the week. Every day of the week. How could you not? You went from Teddy Bridgewater, the worst starting quarterback in football, to Russell Wilson. But those are the 2 guys I wanted, Jen. I wanted Rodgers and I wanted Russell Wilson. Those were my plans.
All right. Well, that's our agenda for this evening.
Oh, wait, does Kenny have a stump?
He didn't drop it in here. I don't know.
Kenny, we'll give you a minute if you want to drop the stump Kurt question on. The comments are coming in hot and heavy tonight.
Yeah,
Jen.
yeah. Some towards the end here, I didn't get them all in, so I was trying to throw them up there because there were some good ones. Oh, Eddie Murphy had another one. They'll show Taylor Swift more than Bronco touchdowns. True or false?
Trevor just nailed it. Tanking does nothing to change your culture. It is really, he nailed it. He nailed it.
And Jody saying the 2 2 years ago, he wanted Wilson or Kirk Cousins. You wanted Kirk Cousins at one point.
I wanted Kirk Cousins the year we got Case Keenum.
Yep.
So
worst all right, here it is. Ready? Worst record the Broncos had with John Elway at quarterback. Kurt, don't look at the comments. I can see where you're looking.
5-11.
Worst record the Broncos had.
Oh, year?
Oh, the year that they had. Worst. I
I'm
don't
going to
know
say
what
94. 94.
what year did the Broncos have the worst record?
I'm gonna
They're
go
94.
94.
Okay. We gotta wait and see.
Oh, he got 1 point. I don't know what part.
You
He
go
said
5
I
and
got
11.
1
You
point.
probably got the 5 and 11.
I'm going to say either 92 or 94. It's one of those years. He
So
said
it's not
no.
94. I don't know if we're on a little bit of a delay, so I don't know if he heard the 92.
Maybe 92.
Oh,
90.
1990.
I think that was the year, if I'm not mistaken, Kenny, that following year in the draft, I think we drafted Mike Kroll very high, linebacker out of Nebraska, I believe. So let's see. I don't
All
know if
right.
you can get that info. But Jen,
Well,
thank you very much. Thank you for everybody commenting. It was awesome tonight. The interaction was great. We got each other fired up. We love hey, we all love each other. We're Bronco. He gets a pass. He got the first part right.
oh, but Kenny, why do you give him a pass so easily? Wrong. You wanted the year. He got it wrong. Nope. Sorry. Not giving you a pass, Kurt. You got it wrong. You stumped him, Kurt. Kenny, be proud of it.
But
you stumped
other
him
than that,
again.
Jen, thank you so much again. You did an awesome job. And thank you again for everybody. Like you said, we argue on here, but we all love each other. We're all Bronco fans. Go Broncos, and let's go, baby. Let's go.
All right, have a good evening.
Have a good